Hey guys, how's it going? Kulprit here, and a lot of you guys have been asking me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube messages, what are my thoughts on the whole Aftermath trailer and announcements. And to be truthful, I've been kind of trying to keep a distance. I know a lot of you guys come here for Battlefield 3 thoughts, but as you guys have seen, I've been really frustrated with DICE but that's not the point of this video. The point of that statement was that I've been kind of trying to stay away. I'm trying to not get worked up by DICE anymore. It's almost like they're trolling me personally. It just gets me all fired up. So I've kind of, but I can't avoid it. And obviously, I'm very curious because I do have my hopes up for Aftermath. I do feel like that will be a. But I mean, I've said this before, but I do feel like this one might be right in the middle of Close Quarters and Armored Kill. And I've said that I think what Battlefield 3 really needs and what they missed the mark. When they first announced these theme DLCs, I was kind of on board. I was like, that sounds really cool. But what it does is it's done nothing for the longevity of the game. Like, when I played Bad Company 2, I enjoyed the Vietnam DLC, but I hated it at the same time, because you'd log on to Bad Company 2. Now, I didn't have a lot of friends to play with then. Maybe 3 or 4. So I would go on, and the guys that were on would be playing Vietnam. I didn't feel like playing Vietnam, so now it was either I played vanilla like I wanted to, or I, had to play Vietnam again with my friends because they're playing. Like, it just separated people. I hated that. It was like 2 different games. So what I wanted is for everything to just, I join on them. We play different maps. We play all the different maps. Why not? Obviously, Close Quarters, you couldn't do that. You can't logistically do that. Armored Kill, I hope that you could do that, but you just really can't. And for the most part, Rush was broken. I'm hearing it's a little better now. So it just what Battlefield 3 really needs maps that we can just put on a server rotation and play. I join a server, I play Grand Bazaar, I play SEN Crossing, I jump over to Epicenter now, the new one. I jump back to Gulf of Oman. It gives us 4 maps to just put in that new rotation that we're all, we enjoy the vanilla maps and we enjoy the car cam maps. But they're getting old. I mean, they're getting real old. It's almost a year since we've had a new map for that map rotation function. So I think that's what Battlefield's really sorely missing. So I'm hoping these Aftermath maps will work for that. And that's what this game really needs. I mean, honestly, personally, at this point, just remaster the old classics. Just go back to Battlefield 2, like you did with Karkan. Go back to Bad Company 2. And just remake those maps. If that's what it takes, just do it. Like, give me something to put in my vanilla rotation. And it's new. It doesn't have to be new IP. I know you guys have a hard time doing that. I'd be fine with that at that point. But do a classic map pack, or all-star map pack, whatever you want to call it. And just bring me 4 or 5 old maps from the different versions. I'd be so on board with that. I would give you more money. So Aftermath, to me, my favorite maps in the game are, like, the Grand Bazaars, the SEN Crossing might be my favorite map. I like those urban-y, not that they have close quarters, but they have long sight lines. You're running, but you're not running for miles, a la, some of the, like Gulf of Oman, say, Caspian. There's too much running, a little too open there. So Aftermath is looking really good for me, for my preference. I don't know where you guys stand on that spectrum. So I watched the trailer. Now let's talk about the trailer for a minute. It seemed like a lot of vehicles. I was surprised by that, and I know they announced technicals, the modified civilian vehicles, which didn't really seem like modified civilian vehicles. I saw Vodniks all over, which I really thought we would see pickup trucks with a gun in the back. I thought we'd see little cars that you could get in, things like that. So these are, I mean, maybe we will. I don't know, but from the trailer I saw Vodniks running around. It's supposed to have multiple gunning positions, so it's not as much of a change as I thought it would be. But I see a lot of them, and it's weird because it's the map seems so narrow. I mean, we only saw one map in the trailer. The map seems so narrow, the lanes are so tight, and there's rubble everywhere, and these things are flying around. Now I understand that's theatrics for the trailer, and chances are what we'll see is we'll see a Vodnik just parked at a choke point, holding down the choke point when we get to live gameplay. The first thing that jumped off of me, mines. Engineers with mines everywhere. It's gonna be interesting to see. Get those mine kills if you need them. It definitely reminded me of Grand Bazaar, which I liked. I'm encouraged by. I like Grand Bazaar. I wish it was a little more destruction in Grand Bazaar, but that's about it. It basically reminds me of how I thought when they initially announced Close Quarters. This is what I thought we were going to get. I thought we were going to get maps like Grand Bazaar, SEN Crossing, maybe a little tighter, more enterable buildings, that type of thing. So this looks like it might be in that vein. The one thing I'm worried about is there might be... See, I don't like randomness in games. And once you start, like, if you took SEN Crossing, there's a bit of degree of predictability there because they're buildings. Okay, so I see a building, I see a building, I see an alley. I can sort of predict where guys, windows, doors are going to be hiding. When you enter rubble, they could literally be anywhere. Like, you guys know the one point... God, what is that? Is that B? On Conquest, on Sen Crossing, the courtyard that has surrounded by the 3 buildings, there's that pile of rubble on the right side. We know, guys get dug in there like ticks, and it's a little hard. I mean, obviously now we kind of know the spots, but initially it's really hard. It's so random. Somebody could be hiding anywhere. We see a lot of that on, you know, like a Caspian, guys just hiding in the bush in the rocks. So that could be a little more difficult, a little frustrating. So I have concerns about like camping in that regard. But, you know, I like the fact that it's going to be choke pointy, it's going to be urban. That's me. That's what I enjoy. Close quarters. That's my idea of close quarters. I mean, what they did with the close quarters DLC is true close quarters. Don't get me wrong. This is what I was hoping they were going to do with close quarters. From the looks of it, you know, I've been misled before. Couple interesting notes. I got these quotes from mpfirst.com. Really great website. You guys should check it out. It helps you keep up with what's going on. Ton of information over there on all kinds of first-person shooter games. Quote-unquote, hidden passageways could be discovered by blowing up certain barriers with their explosives or conveniently placed gas canisters. Now, hidden I'm not so hung up on because we'll all know where they are within a week. So, I don't really understand why they have to be hidden. Why not just leave them open? But it's an interesting idea. It's hard to tell. I mean, seriously, guys, I'd much rather you make the environment destructible and let me make my own passageways. I mean, you make everything, let's just say Grand Bazaar or Synchro, walls blow upable. They don't have to collapse. Just make them so I can blow through a wall. Well, here you go. Support with C4 becomes a lot more playable and valuable. Things like that. I mean, I'm encouraged by this. Sounds cool. I'm a flanker. You know, more routes. That's always good. It gets to be a point where there's too many. In close quarters, just too many different routes. You want a little bit of predictability. You want to be able to, you know, use your map knowledge, look at the flow of the game, and kind of tell the ebb and flow what's going on. When it's just complete chaos, nobody's having fun. And so I'm okay with that. Gas canister, like I said, it's the hidden thing's not a big deal. We'll all know where it is. I'll probably do videos on it. I know a lot of people will. The second quote got me, and this is what worries me. Quote unquote, it's also from MP First. Tremors literally shake the battlefield at random moments throughout the match. These tremors cause falling debris in certain areas. Now, this immediately reminds me of, a lot of people are saying the antenna in Caspian Border. Not that. It reminds me of, if you guys played Black Ops, there was the train yard, there was a missile launch silo, I think it was, I don't remember exactly the names, where, you know, like for 15 seconds in the middle of the match, the rocket would go off, the whole map would shake. And basically what happened is the fight would stop, people would just sit and wait because you couldn't aim during it, and it would be just a break. And the train yard was a little better because at least you knew as you went by the train tracks, there was a chance the train would come. That was your own, you know, you could control that. You could avoid that if you wanted to. Silo, the missile, you couldn't. It was a pain in the butt. You know, after the first couple times, it was cool. Like, just like the antenna phone, it was cool. Does anybody watch it anymore? Not really. So, I'm all for immersive elements. Tremors literally shake the battlefield at random moments throughout the match. So that tells me it's going to happen more than once. It's going to happen several times in the map. And I get the whole earthquake theme. I can almost live with the tremors because it's an annoyance. You get away with it. Tremors cause falling debris in certain areas. Now, there's two ways they're going to go. Is it going to be the same areas every time? Is it going to be random areas and just stuff just falls on your head? I said before, I've said this in many videos, I do not like random elements in my FPS games. I want it to be skill-based, not luck-based. This is going to, I hate, this is probably one thing I hate the most in Battlefield 3, and that's bad luck deaths. If I die at my own hands or I get outplayed and die, I'm cool with that. But when I die because of just random stupid things or glitches or something, that is about the closest I get to raging, and this just screams to me there's going to be a lot of bad luck deaths. At least if it's predictable and it's always the same spot, you can avoid it possibly. I just don't like this. Again, why not make the environment destructible? And when someone takes down a building, there's your tremors. That, to me, would make more sense. I know they're limited with the engine, but I'm just saying that makes a lot more sense to me than just random tremors. I'm going to wait to be seen, but this right now is the biggest thing I'm worried about, more than the other thing I'm going to get to in a second. It just seems like such a bad idea to me, and it really, to me, could ruin the experience. Again, I'm going to make my case for toggle boxes on servers that we can turn things on and off. They'll never give it to us because this to me is like their AC-130 of Armored Kill. This is going to be their signature thing for Aftermath. The earthquake, the tremors, falling rubble. Yeah. You know, Armored Kill would have been so much better if the AC-130 was not in it. I don't care what you tell me, that's how I feel. It was a gimmicky marketing element that they added. It doesn't belong in a Battlefield game. It's not drivable. It's not controllable. It has no place in Battlefield. I'll never be convinced otherwise. Certainly shouldn't have been in Rush. And to this day, they still won't admit they made a mistake with it, nor will they ever, because people might lose their jobs over it. this is going to be that thing in Aftermath. It could ruin the entire DLC. Say I'm a naysayer, I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, guys. Nobody hopes I'm wrong more than me. Beyond that, I know you guys all know I'm going to talk about crossbows. I thought we were over trying to be Call of Duty, honestly. I mean, so let me get this straight, guys. You tell us we're going to get weapons with Aftermath. Initially, before everybody pays, you tell us we're getting weapons. Then after everybody pays, you mysteriously take the weapons out. Just change the graphic, because why not? But you have time to develop a crossbow with multiple bolts, but you can't make us new legit weapons that everybody would need and just add some flavor. Instead, you're going to add us a weapon that's going to add a lot of frustration, a lot of grief, and probably annoy the hell out of players a lot more than it's going to help us with the experience. This is a complete sign for me of disconnect. They don't know what to do. The only way I see this maybe even making sense is they took the weapons out. Some people got angry, obviously. To fulfill that, what they initially said on the pre-sale, they had to make some kind of weapon. So they could say, hey, look, here's a crossbow. We did give you new weapons, but did we need this? Like, why? I've never run around in Battlefield 3 so I'm like, man, I wish I had a crossbow right now. And then, of course, like, they are just... This could destroy balance. Why? Not because it's a crossbow, but because it doesn't take a weapon slot. It's going in an equipment slot. So now every class can have this with, let's read, standard tip, mid-range, mid-damage, the scan bolt tip, proximity detector, high explosive bolt tip, great for vehicles, and also annoying the hell out of other players, and a balanced bolt tip for long range. So now you can, so let me get this straight. I can take a support class with my M60 to just run around hip firing for days in buildings. I don't know, it's just an extreme. But I can take my, instead of C4 or something maybe, I could take my crossbow with a balanced bolt tip and snipe people. So now I can sit in buildings, snipe people. I got the, the resupply kits, endless bolts from what I gather. Snipe people. When people get fed up with me to come get me, I sit in the stairwell with an M60. Come at me, bro. They work so hard to balance things, and then it's like they just take a grenade and here you go, let's see what happens now. It's like, I don't understand. I don't get what they're doing, and this is what I said, it's a disconnect. I would have much rather had one more weapon per class. I know they're just reskins at this point. So what? Give us some variety. I mean, there's weapons out there. I could come up with 10 to 20 more weapons I'd like to see, and I'm not a gun nut. I just know of weapons that are out there in other games that, this is silly to me. This is why I get kind of discouraged about Battlefield 3 at this point. I don't see it getting better. I just see a disconnect. One thing I did like, well, there's two things, but one about the DLC, scavenger mode. This actually sounds pretty cool to me. Why not? Let's give it a shot. It seems somewhat original. I'm sure there might be a game out there that's done this. Screams of DayZ to me. Catching the hype there, where you have nothing, you got to scavenge, you got to go. Hey, whatever. It's sort of. It's something different. I mean, I probably could have picked other game modes I would have rather had, but this is fine. I'm okay with this. It's just not... They didn't just look over at what Black Ops 2 is doing and take something of theirs like they've done every other step. So I'm okay with this. It might end up stinking. I might end up not playing it, but this I'm okay with. Go for it. Something new. Try it. Fits the theme just fine. So, okay. I'm okay with this. I will try this out. And this could be a pretty funny little experience with a group of friends. Where everybody knows each other, we're on comms, and we're talking trash. It could be a lot of fun. I'll probably do some videos on it. I'm okay with that. About the only part of the DLC I don't have any worries about. Just because, again, if it's no good, it's not going to ruin the rest of my experience. If that crossbow is OP or just a grief weapon, guess what? You can take it back to vanilla maps now. You can use it on any class. That to me it could ruin the entire game. That's huge concerns there. One thing I will kudos DICE for, finally, they're going to, I believe it's in the patch, let me just look at it real quick. I'm sorry, I should have had. Upcoming Battlefield 3 PC game client update will allow players to disable color grading. 1 year later, they're finally going to let us not play the Smurf version of this game. And this is after a couple weeks, if you guys don't know, there's kind of a... I don't want to say hack, but, a mod or something out there. I'm sorry, I'm not up on it. I don't use it. That enables you to take the blue hue off the maps. Like Metro is just totally blued out. It's ridiculous. And a lot of us that played in beta and whatnot remember what it looked like. Beautiful. you could take it out through some kind of a modding tool or a little application or something. I don't know exactly what it was, so sorry. But the end result was you took that out, and it looked natural. Colors. Greens and yellows and reds. And the game looked much nicer. They were bad. They called people doing this hackers, and they're glitching the game, and they're getting competitive. It's ridiculous. I mean, they were really condescending on Twitter, and again, it just led to me just a turnoff, just a Switch turnoff. I'm just enough, DICE, enough. I need a year away from you. But now they've backtracked now, and they've said that in the next PC game client. Now, again, this leads me to say console is not going to get it because you do this through the console, which I don't know if that means I have to do it every time I log in. I'm not sure. Where you can turn that off. Thank you. If it's just been a console command for all this time, why didn't you give it to us 10 months ago? I don't know, but hey, I'll take it. That's assuming I log back into Battlefield 3. I will, but this could be filed away in the too little too late. But it's a good gesture. I'll take it. I appreciate it. So there you go, guys. God, this has gone way longer than I wanted to. 17 minutes. There's my thoughts on Aftermath. My concerns mostly. I'm cool with the scavenger mode. I'm very cool with taking out the blue gradient. Long overdue. I am encouraged by Aftermath. I'm looking forward to it. It's only about a month away. I think it's November 27th for the PS3, so then it'll be a week later for us Premiere owners on PC. I'm excited for it. I'll definitely check it out. But I don't have my hopes up because DICE has just dashed them too many times at this point. So there you go, guys. I mean, I know a lot of you have been asking. I'd really love to hear your thoughts. I know I might have even gotten a lot of stuff wrong. Like I said, I'm not as up on it as I have been. I've been focusing on Medal of Honor and other games. So don't take this as gospel. This is just my opinion. Clearly just my opinion. If I made a mistake, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And, yeah, let me hear your thoughts. Like always, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.